My name is Peter, and today I'll be talking about my tips for how to stop procrastinating and GTD, get things done. First off, whenever you want to solve something, it's helpful to really understand the underlying issue. So what is procrastination? According to Neil Fiore, who wrote the book, The Now Habit, procrastination, it's basically a coping mechanism that we use to deal with the anxiety around making a decision or completing a task. We all have different reasons for why we're anxious. And for you, it could be a fear of failure. It could be a fear of success. It could be feeling unorganized or feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot of different reasons for why we procrastinate, but the net result is that it can really hold you back from dating your dream partner, being a hero at work, giving high fives, receiving them from your boss and peers, just reaching your full potential. For example, if you have a school paper or a personal project that's really important to you, you might find yourself choosing to do something easier and more enjoyable because you just don't want to make a mistake. So instead of starting the paper, you might be on Instagram, texting your friends, and then you wake up the next morning, nothing gets done. 2 weeks roll by, nothing gets done. A month, maybe even a year, you still haven't started that project that really matters to you. I've definitely felt the anxiety of a big project and had to really fight with it. For example, when I made my album, Lions on the Beach, I really had to fight through just months and even years of, I'm not good enough, these songs aren't good enough. It was only until I set deadlines, got accountability, did a Kickstarter where all my friends, family, and supporters and fans were like waiting for this album where I could really just get it across the finish line. These are the 5 strategies that have helped me overcome procrastination, and hopefully they can help you. Number 1, lower the stakes. A lot of the times when we have a task, we might feel like it's so important and the stakes are so high that we feel overwhelmed and we don't take action and procrastinate. And some of the reasons for why you might do that are because you're a perfectionist, you're afraid of failure, you attach your self-worth to your performance. A good way to combat that is to lower the stakes. One way that's I find to be really helpful is just to affirm your self-worth. To remind yourself that whether you do the task or not, your self-worth doesn't change at all. I remind myself, my self-worth is innate. My self-worth is innate. And when I remember that, then it's a lot easier for me to just step forward. Number 2, visualize success. A lot of times when we're so focused on what we're doing, we just focus on the what, that we forget the why. And more specifically, how it would benefit us and how it would feel when we successfully finish something. And so a good way to visualize success is to just stop what you're doing and close your eyes and just visualize what it would feel like to finish that task, what success would feel like. And you can do this for like 30 seconds, a minute, and oftentimes you can find a lot of motivation and it will help you to just take action. 3, break it down. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Break your tasks down. If it's writing a paper, you can break it down into all the little things that you need to do, and then just find the easiest, most simple thing that you could do to get started. And so for writing a paper, you can just open up the Google Doc, write your name, you're done for the day. If you're trying to do more yoga, just promise yourself you're gonna go to your bedroom and roll out the mat today. And that's all you have to do today. So just what's that one little step? Because oftentimes the starting and the doing, between that, it's actually the starting which is the hardest part. And once you start doing, it's actually not that bad. And when you start doing it, you might even get into the zone, the flow state, where you lose all sense of time and you're just your most productive. You can really reach your full potential that way. Number 4, set a timer. A lot of times we feel like there's an unlimited amount of time. There's that whole thing called the Parkinson's law where your amount of work fills up the amount of space that you give it. So if you don't give yourself a timeline, then you will never finish. But if you give yourself a finite time, boom, you'll get something done. So set a timer. I like to go with the 5-minute rule. If you're stuck, just set a timer for 5 minutes. For that day, you've worked on that task for 5 minutes and you are good. You can go play, go eat ice cream, go watch TV, whatever it is. Or you can choose to keep working if you feel it. And you might find that you might enjoy that. And then the next day, set the timer again for 5 minutes. You can even make it smaller, like 20 seconds, something ridiculous that you know you can do. And if you don't do it, you're just being ridiculous. So set the timer. 5, treat yourself. Just reward yourself with kind of your vices. So for me, instead of reading about the NBA and then working, I will work for a block of 30 minutes and then I'll read about like why Kyrie Irving hasn't been playing with the Nets for a few games. Then I'll work for 30 minutes. I'll read about how James Harden is fitting in with the team now. And it incentivizes me and I feel great. And then I'm guilt-free when I'm reading the articles. So just incentivize yourself, whether it's going to the bathroom after working, texting a friend, whatever it is, just give yourself a little treat and it'll keep that great pattern going. And eventually you'll be able to get everything done and get it across the finish line. So just to summarize, you want to 1, lower the stakes, 2, visualize success, 3, break it down, 4, set a timer, and 5, treat yourself. I'll leave you with this quote: things can change very quickly once you start. I wrote that on my whiteboard in my room, and when I'm laying in bed and feeling bogged down and I see that, I'm just reminded that things can change very quickly once I start. Since we're all in this together, feel free to leave any tips that have helped you, that could help me, that could help other people on the channel, just to be more productive and to GTD. All right, thank you and see you next time.